I call the member for Buderim.
Mr Speaker, I rise today to speak about the incredible charity in my electorate of Buderim known as Bloomhill Cancer Care. Bloomhill began 21 years ago with a mission to enhance the quality of life for cancer sufferers and survivors. Currently, Bloomhill's 50 staff and 500 volunteers support over 1,200 clients by providing practical, physical and emotional support from the time of diagnosis all the way through their journey. Mr Speaker, everybody here has been touched by cancer in some way, either directly or indirectly. Having lost my mother to cancer, I'm passionate about ensuring loved ones are respected and nurtured for all of their days, especially when they lack the strength and energy to fight for themselves. I'm acutely aware of the impact cancer has on families and indeed entire communities, and on behalf of the Buderim electorate I congratulate and thank Bloomhill for providing safe and supportive environment for those who have never felt more alone or frightened in their lives. In 2012, a federal government grant of $560,000 funded a small expansion but could not stretch to upgrade the original 10-person capacity septic system, which is impaired by toxic chemicals including chemotherapeutic substances entering the system. These pose significant health risks. Recently, Bloomhill received a $35,000 Gambling Community Benefit Fund grant, which will cover roughly half of the funds required to upgrade and relocate the holding tank, where it can be emptied on a weekly basis through mechanical extraction. Mr Speaker, to link the system with the main sewage system, the Sunshine Coast Council, it will cost a further $200,000. Bloomhill have a blueprint model of cancer care and the rest of Australia is watching. In fact, the model is actually being replicated in Cairns. Sadly, but as a direct result of its success, Bloomhill face increasing demand for their services and are once again rattling the tin to fund the Bloomhill Wellness Centre expansion project. This project will extend their capacity to 2,000 people by 2020. Mr Speaker, Bloomhill is achieving tangible positive health outcomes for the Sunshine Coast, and I call on the government to support and recognise the cost benefit that Bloomhill is providing and to assist Bloomhill in remaining viable so that they can support the health of the Sunshine Coast community. Before I finish, Mr Speaker, I'd like to take a moment to recognise the tremendous contribution of Joyce Newton, OAM. The member for Glasshouse spoke eloquently about Joyce on Tuesday, and I will not duplicate his contribution. But I wanted to place on the record my condolences and that of my family. No one will forget Joyce's contribution to her community and to Queensland more broadly. Joyce, you'll be sorely missed. Our thoughts are with Greg and the rest of the family at this difficult time. May rest in peace.
I call the member for Woodridge.
Thank you, Mr Speaker.